The content of this podcast is provided for general informational purposes only and is not intended as, nor should it be considered a substitute for professional medical advice. Hello. This is Karen Nickel, nurse practitioner in for Itchy and Bitchy. Welcome back, and I'm here with our trusted producer, Forrest Wenzel, and I'm here to talk to you today about tinnitus, which is ear ringing. I had a listener, Angela, who said, I started listening to the podcast this year. Love your podcast. Can you talk about tinnitus during perimenopause and how to deal? So thank you, Angela, for that question. And tinnitus is a complicated little problem, but I will do my best to give you an outline of the things that can cause tinnitus and how it applies in terms of our hormonal issues. So first of all, tinnitus is how we pronounce it. Some people say tinnitus, but the correct or medical pronunciation is tinnitus, and it is ear ringing. And it is when someone hears a sound in one or both ears with no external sound present. It affects a lot of people in the U.S., to be precise, 50 million people, and it interferes with daily activities in about 25% of those who are affected. And tinnitus is more common in men than in women and is more likely to occur among individuals who smoke, and the likelihood of developing tinnitus increases as we age. Most of the time we describe tinnitus as ear ringing, but some people describe it as buzzing, clicking, hissing, humming, or roaring. Tinnitus is usually caused by an underlying condition such as age-related hearing loss, an ear injury, or circulatory system problems. Hypothyroidism, which we've talked about a lot on this podcast, which is low thyroid, can also cause ear ringing. Treating the underlying cause of the ringing can provide relief or reduction of the symptoms. Some behavioral therapies to help with ear ringing include tinnitus retraining therapy. We call it TRT. This involves counseling and wearing a wearable device that emits low-level noise and environmental sounds, and it must be worn for 1 to 2 years. Studies show that up to 80% of patients find some relief of their tinnitus with TRT. Biofeedback and stress reduction is a relaxation technique that teaches a person to control certain body functions such as heart and breathing rate in order to change the person's reaction to the ear ringing. We use masking devices, and these resemble hearing aids and produce a low-level sound, which helps to reduce or eliminate the tinnitus noise in some patients. Cognitive behavioral therapy is also an option, and this teaches patients to manage their psychological responses to tinnitus because it can be really, really bothersome and cause a lot of problems like depression and anxiety. Other therapies include acupuncture. We use the supplements ginkgo biloba and melatonin to help with ear ringing. Vitamins and minerals can also help, including niacin, which is a B vitamin, zinc, and copper. What I'm going to talk to you about today is oxytocin, which is the love hormone. And believe it or not, this hormone has been shown to help people with tinnitus. There was actually a study in Brazil, and they had people who were suffering from chronic ringing in the ears, and they found relief by spraying the hormone oxytocin in their nose. And although oxytocin appeared to be safe, its long-term effects are just not known. But good news, there are ways actually to raise your oxytocin levels without spraying it up your nose. So I am going to talk to you about those ways to bump up your oxytocin which can help you in a number of ways, but specifically can help reduce ear ringing. So if you're having ear ringing, this might be worth a try for you. And if you're not having ear ringing, you'll find it gives you a lot of benefit in other ways. So I'm going to take a short break, and after that break, I will talk to you about ways you can raise your oxytocin without spraying it up your nose. You know, I always try to encourage my patients to take supplements that are high quality and specific to their needs. A company that can help you do that is Care Of. Their in-depth online quiz asks you questions about your diet, lifestyle, and health concerns to help address your specific wellness goals. Taking that quiz is like getting a personal consultation with a nutritionist without ever even leaving your house. After you've taken the quiz, supplement recommendations will come to you in daily, individually wrapped packets that are perfect for getting back into a routine, which is the best way to focus on your health. Get into a daily routine. Helping you stay with your routine is not the only thing I love about these little packets. First of all, you pull it out of the box and it says, "Hi, Karen." And then it gives you a little fact or inspirational quote. And it's just a fun thing to read every day. I just pulled one out of my box and it says, "Today's fact. Some experts believe the human eye can distinguish up to 10 million different colors." And another one says, "Today's challenge. Have your favorite thing for lunch today." They're just fun ways to start your day and makes you want to pull out that next packet the very next day. We are heading into spring, hallelujah, and it's a good time to shake off that winter hibernation mode and start some healthy habits, including getting the appropriate supplementation for you and your needs. And Care Of can fill that need. When I took my quiz, I checked urinary health as one of my concerns. And I don't have any urinary problems, thank goodness, but I don't want to get any urinary problems. So I want to take something that will support my urinary health. So take advantage of the momentum that spring can bring to help work toward better health and well-being. For 50% off your first Care Of order, go to takecareof.com and enter code ITCHY50. For 50% off your first Care Of order, go to takecareof.com and enter code ITCHY50. I think many people are not aware of how important a scent is. Remember your mother baking bread and that aroma that filled the house, and now as a grown person you smell that baking bread somewhere and your mind immediately goes back to the kitchen in your home where you grew up. A scent or aroma is such a powerful memory trigger. And the Function of Beauty team of formula scientists, they're aware of this, and they make the scent of your hair products a key ingredient in every bottle. I really love Function of Beauty's pear scent. It is very crisp and clean, slightly sweet, but not too sweet. Very refreshing, a lovely scent. And they have many, many more from which to choose. So I know you will find one that is perfect for you. You can try tropical mango, sweet peach, the crisp pear that I like, or subtler scents like lavender or rose and eucalyptus. And if you don't want a fragrance, that's a-okay. They can give you an unscented product as well. And every one of their products is sulfate and paraben-free. It's vegan, cruelty-free, and there are over 60,000 real 5-star reviews. I recommend that you turn your beauty routine into an aromatherapy session. All you have to do is take a short but thorough quiz, to give your hair everything it needs to look and feel its best. Go to functionofbeauty.com/itchy to take your quiz and save 20% on your first order. That applies to their full range of customized hair, skin, and body products. That's functionofbeauty.com/itchy to let them know you heard about it here and to get 20% off your order. functionofbeauty.com/itchy. Alrighty then, we are back, and I am going to talk to you about ways to naturally boost your oxytocin. First of all, try yoga. All those yoga instructors out there, I'm sure, are saying, yay! But yoga has many benefits, including reducing anxiety and stress. And by decreasing depression symptoms, improving sleep, and enhancing quality of life, you raise your oxytocin levels. So not only will it help you with your flexibility and strength and mood, it will help with oxytocin, which could help with your ear ringing. And I will advise you that if you've never taken a yoga class before, I strongly recommend that you start with a beginner class and work your way from there. Another thing you can do is listen to or make your own music. In a study of jazz singers who were asked to sing composed versus improvised music, oxytocin levels raised during improvisational singing. Singers in a different study had increased levels of oxytocin after a singing lesson. So listeners, sing away, even if you don't think you can sing. Make up songs while you're cooking dinner. Take a voice lesson. All that can help raise your oxytocin. Getting a massage can also help. Of course, we think of the relaxation benefits of receiving a massage, but guess what? It also boosts oxytocin. So it is advisable to get a massage on a regular basis. I am not good about taking that advice. I hope you are better than I. And I promise that if you commit to getting a regular massage, I might do so as well. So the other thing I wanted to tell you, if you're not into getting a professional massage because it's not in your budget, research has shown that getting a massage from a partner or a loved one will work just as well to raise oxytocin. And it doesn't have to be a long massage. Just 15 minutes will do the trick. Another option is to tell someone how much you care and love them. Oxytocin increases when you share your love and affection with someone. Hugging, kissing, and showing your appreciation to another person creates connections that raise oxytocin levels. Spend time with friends. I know this has been difficult to do during the COVID pandemic, so maybe ear ringing has also increased during this crazy time. Using FaceTime or Zoom to connect with friends is always an option. Oxytocin will increase by bonding over a new experience with a friend also. So contact a friend and plan something challenging and different for both of you. Meditate. Meditation reduces anxiety and stress, and you can also target oxytocin production by focusing your meditation on someone you care about. This is called compassion meditation, where you send thoughts of well-being, love, and peace towards someone. Another important point is to be a good listener. Oxytocin is released when you connect with others, and the best way to do that is to fully participate in conversations. I'm as guilty as anyone else about not completely focusing when I need to. So when a friend or loved one has a conversation with you, put aside all your distractions, make eye contact, and give them your full attention. When you do that, you not only help that other person, but you help yourself because it causes oxytocin secretion. Share a meal and meal preparation with someone you care about. Sharing food raises oxytocin. Here's an argument for taking the time to sit down around the dinner table with your loved ones and share a conversation rather than eating in front of the TV. This is one is a biggie, and I have a lot of women who would cringe when I say this, but have sex. So many patients tell me they have no libido, no interest in sex. We are all so busy, tired, and distracted that having sex goes on the back burner. Here's an argument for making an effort to keep sex in your lives. It can raise oxytocin and maybe stop that ear ringing. Hug and cuddle. Okay, if having sex is not an option for you, forms of intimacy like hugging, hand-holding, and cuddling with someone, or even with a pet, will have the same effect in terms of increasing oxytocin. Okay, I said hand-holding with a pet. Maybe hand-holding with a pet won't work so well, but hugging or petting the pet will. Do something nice for someone. Selfless behaviors promote oxytocin release. Do a chore for a neighbor, volunteer for a local organization, or donate to a charity. Live a generous life. All those things will help oxytocin, which can help ear ringing. So it's worth a try. Just changing some lifestyle measures may help reduce your ear ringing. In terms of other causes of tinnitus or ear ringing, I really want you to see your healthcare provider. If you develop tinnitus after a respiratory infection and the ear ringing doesn't resolve a week after the infection resolves. So if you still have ringing 1 week after your ear infection resolves or your upper respiratory infection resolves, please see someone about that. Also see someone if you have hearing loss or dizziness with the ear ringing. That's really important to get that checked out. Also see someone if the presence of tinnitus is causing depression or anxiety, because that really needs to get addressed. So if any of those things are true for you, please, please, please make an appointment with your healthcare provider. I mentioned earlier that circulatory problems can cause ear ringing or tinnitus. And another reason to seek help is if you have what we call pulsatile tinnitus. And that means it pulses. So, for instance, it would be a psh, psh, psh kind of sound. And especially people notice it when they lie down at night and it's quiet and they hear this beating sound that's sort of swishy or roaring in their ear. And that also needs to be evaluated because it could be something going on with your carotid arteries, some blockage, and something going on maybe with what we call a temporal artery, this artery that's on the side of your forehead. So that really needs to be looked at to make sure that there's no blockages or problems in those vessels that are causing that sound in your ear. I've also seen that pulsatile or tinnitus in some people who have had iron deficiency anemia. So especially if you're having other iron deficiency anemia symptoms like you're pale and you're tired and you're short of breath. All those things need to be looked at because that pulsatile tinnitus could be the cause. So I hope that this sort of answers your question, Angela. And I know that besides talking about ear ringing or what we call tinnitus, raising oxytocin levels can really be helpful for so many things, but it's certainly worth a try to help your ear ringing. I want to thank Function of Beauty and Care Of for sponsoring today's episode. And I always want to thank Forrest Wenzel for producing the podcast and for his theme music. And you can check him out on Spotify, on iTunes, If you just type in Forrest Wenzel, you will find his music, which I think you'll enjoy hearing. So please do that. Remember that our website is itchyandbitchy.com, and there are blogs on that website with information from previous episodes. So if you're wondering about a supplement or a product that you heard on the podcast, chances are good that it will be in one of those blogs. Also, our Facebook page is I and B Podcast. I'm trying to remember this. It's also new. I and B Podcast. And you are welcome to leave your comments or questions on there. We really appreciate all your feedback. And I hope you will be well and stay safe. And remember, your health is in your hands. See you next time.